Welcome to Who's Up Next, a video podcast for journal junkies. I'm Sally Bell, your host, and I will be interviewing one of our favorite artists. So grab a cup of coffee, get comfy, and let's see who's up next. Hello, this is Sally Bell with Rainy Day Gypsy, and welcome to Who's Up Next. Today we have Kelly with a book and paper arts. Hi, Kelly. Welcome.
Thank you, Sally.
I have been looking through your YouTube videos, and I am just gaga. It's like, oh, she does whatever I want to do. I don't have that style, but I want that style. I think you're kind of a...
You can do something about that.
Excuse me. I want to. You correct me, but I'm going to say you're kind of a junk journal, art journal combo.
I don't do junk journals, full stop.
No, you don't. But some of your papers are kind of like... No?
Can't help it. I do not make junk journals. Some of them are beautiful. I have friends who make them, and they're absolutely beautiful, but I don't do that style. My main love is altered books.
Okay.
But where journal arts are concerned, I make art journals, and then I make illustrated travel journals, which, you know.
Right. Oh, the travel journals are just gorgeous. Yeah, I love that. However, you do put things like your receipts and your brochures. And to me, that's kind of junk journaling. Yeah, you put your junk, your favorite junk.
I think the biggest difference I would say is that in my experience and again, like I have friends who work in junk journals, they're using pieces that are mainly reproductions. And my pieces are all originals. Even if it's from the 1700s, 1800s, 1900s, it's original. And I think that's the biggest difference. It's why I make it more of an art journal, because I consider them art pieces because they're using valuable one-of-a-kind pieces. When they're used, they're used.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, I just love those things. Yeah, it's hard to get that much of that stuff here, though.
I have a video, I'll send you a link, called How to Source Old Paper If You Do Not Live in an Old Country.
Oh, okay.
I am from Mississippi, and I used to live in Tennessee and Mississippi, and even then, it's much harder to find, but you can find it. You just have to be persistent and know how.
Okay, well, I'm going to that video right after this. Okay, starting from what you just said, Mississippi. I read that in one of your journals. You're from Mississippi.
I was raised
you were raised where?
In Neshoba County, Mississippi. I was raised on a dirt road.
Oh, I love it.
On a farm, and I chased cows. And then when I was about 16, we moved to the Gulf Coast. And that's where I went to high school. And then I actually got my undergraduate degree in journalism at the University of Southern Mississippi.
Wow. Okay. So this is, I guess I didn't tell the audience that you're in the UK.
I live in Wales.
But in Wales. Okay. How did you get from Mississippi to Wales?
I was in Hurricane Katrina.
And that blow you over there?
It blew me all the way to Wales. 28 feet of water and 5 trees went through my house. And at the time, I stayed for a few weeks trying to hang on. Actually, nobody could leave for a few weeks. It was like 3 months after at the time, my boyfriend was a lecturer at the University of Wales in Swansea.
Oh.
And we'd been going back and forth for a while, to be honest, just messing around. And then, like a lot of people after Hurricane Katrina, were like, we need to put a ring on it.
Oh.
And we did.
And that's who you're still married to?
Yep.
He's no longer your boyfriend, he's your husband?
He's my husband.
Aww.
And he's, let's see. So I've lived in Wales for about 22 years, and I've been a UK citizen for about 14.
Wow. Okay, was he born and raised in the UK?
He's from Manchester, so he's from England, but he's lived in Wales for about 50 years.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Do you miss Mississippi? Not the storms, for sure. Wow. Living through Katrina.
Sally, the first 2 or 3 years I lived here, I identified as American, and there were things that drove me nuts. And after a certain time, I've just lived here for so long that I don't sound it, but I identify as British, and things that drove me nuts, I love. And it really is a different way of life, different values, to be honest.
Is it? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, you'll have to tell me more about that.
Yeah. So, my family's in America, and I miss them, but this will be this is it.
Yeah, that's
Plus
great.
My apartment is paid for.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay. I have health care, and as I'm getting older, that's super. Wow. I just can't go back to a place where I don't have that. So.
Yeah, I can.
Different conversation. That's a different thing.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. How long have you been doing this?
Ooh, not that long. I was a writer. I had my degree in journalism, and I wrote a book, but mainly I was doing freelance writing for magazines.
Okay.
And one magazine that I wrote for in the 2000s put me on the art beat, and I would interview different artists. It was in Asheville, North Carolina, had a ton of working artists. So I was interviewing sculptors, painters, ceramicists. And one day they sent me to interview a woman who taught illustrated journal making, Gwen Dean. Do you know Gwen?
Yeah. Say that again.
Do you know Gwen Dean?
No.
Well, she's written several books on, and I went to her house, and I had never heard of an illustrated journal, didn't know such a monster existed. And she showed me what she made, and she taught this at the local college. And I knew then that I wanted her job.
Yeah. I know the feeling.
It took a while.
Yeah. Wow.
I had bills to pay, and
right. Oh yeah, those things. Yeah. So you're quite the artist. I'm intrigued by that. And were you always an artist when you grew up? Were you a little kid? You painted?
Writer.
No. Okay.
Writer. Absolutely in love with words, which is one of the things about because we can talk about the different. I do journal keeping, and then I do diary, just plain old straight up diary writing, and I have about 6 different diaries that I keep at one time.
Okay.
I've got 4 of them.
Okay. Yeah. Do you want to show us some?
I'm straight up. I love words.
But that's a creative art in a way.
Yeah, definitely is. Yeah, but I will tell people over and over and over when I'm coaching and cheerleading, when I started making illustrated journals, I could not draw a stick figure cat, and I'm not exaggerating. I made little stick figure cartoons with big glasses, and and that's how I knew it was me. I did it anyway, and so I could not draw. I had a glue stick, and the cheapest sketchbook that you could buy, I think it was like $4. Terrible paper, and I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And now when I go back and I look at those primitive, funky, funny journals, they make me so happy because they still have the memories, they still have the ideas.
Right.
And so that's why I tell people, if you can't draw anyway.
Yeah, right. Well, they say
I am not a creative. Are you a creative artist? Are you a painter or no?
No. They say if you want to be, to draw every single day. Something. Yeah. And I've always been going to do that. But I haven't. Yeah, so I'm pretty intrigued because your art is unusual in a way. It's very unique. I love it. You have some of your art journals there.
I do.
Is that what you call them, art journals?
Well, it depends. I did actually. My art journals are in the studio. But what I do have are my illustrated journals.
Your illustrated, okay, good.
And the thing is, and here, what we can do, Sally, is until about a year ago, I'm obsessed with diary keeping and journals, and I have like I said, about 9 different kinds that I keep, visual and written, at any given time. And before, I would never cross-pollinate an art journal with an illustrated journal.
Oh, okay.
Never the twain meets.
Yeah.
And about a year ago, I was like, hey, it's my book. I can turn my illustrated journal, my visual diary, into an art journal. He has nothing to do with what I did, except he looks really gorgeous on this page. So
he looks like an Adonis. Is that the name? Is that right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I printed this on deli paper. So, breaking my own rule, I wasn't going to put in but I was using stencils.
Right. Oh, so pretty. Yeah. It's just so unique. Yeah. Okay. So, and you cut out things from magazines or brochures and you put in there, and then yeah. Okay.
So what collage. I do is when I'm on the road, the first thing I do is go to the tourist agency, and then I get free brochures, maps.
Right. Yeah.
And you can shopping bags, like the ones that do I have any?
I just saw one in one of
where I've used gesso and stencils.
Oh,
so I want it to look like a peeling fresco.
Oh yeah, I love that. It does.
And so like you might have a bag that your pastry comes in, and then you can or postcards, and then you turn that into a pocket.
Oh, how cute. Yeah, I love it.
So you have found papers. You get found papers, get a big old stack of them, and then you start integrating them, brochures.
Right. And memories, yeah. That's
also known as free art supplies.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. Yeah. Okay, so I was just watching your video about what did you call it? The ink making seminar in Italy. That was just in July.
Yeah.
That was cool.
And I learned so much.
I was going to ask if you did. Sometimes, they're not what you expect. Yep. Yeah, how fun is that?
I've been to those too.
Yeah.
You're like, can I have 2 weeks and my money back? But this was not like that.
Oh, wow.
It was a little less on the art side than I expected. There was one other book artist, but everybody else was a fine art restorer or a conservationist.
Oh, really?
So it was pretty heady stuff, and we learned, the chemistry and in addition to just plain old, using the inks and things. But
right. Really, okay, so let me ask you about if audience go and see that video. Oh, well, several videos over there. I'm just like, wow, I got to go back and watch. But some of your, you said inks, but some of them looked a little bit more like paints. Was it ink?
Well, and that is because it was the workshop was recreating a medieval palette.
Oh yeah, okay.
And and 13th and 14th century, they would not have had the same distinction between, let's say, an ink and a dye and a paint.
Okay.
That we might have.
Okay, yeah, that was a very intriguing.
Yeah, and clearly, one thing, I do make plant-based inks here. I actually have an online class about how to make botanical inks, and you can use them with brushwork and dip pens, but you cannot put a plant-based ink in a fountain pen, or it will end in tears.
Oh, okay.
So, and again, in the 12th and 13th century, they would have been working with a dip pen, what we would think of as a dip pen, or brushwork. So, if it was more like a paint, it might have been more like a paint, but that's what they would have written with.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so some of them, I noticed the base was like egg yolk, egg white, that kind of thing. Do they last, or in your little pot, or Oh, so they like you don't open it up and it's all moldy and like
no.
later.
I'm sorry, misunderstood. They don't last in the little pot. In fact, that
Yeah.
1-2
Oh, they
days
last on paper,
paper.
right? Or on
But
right,
no, they
right.
are very no.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even the ones that are inks that I make that are plant based, you can preserve them, but even they've got a short shelf life, 3 weeks tops. But if it's got an egg
Oh.
tempera or an egg yolk
Hmm.
or an egg white, no. Chuck
So
it. Chuck it.
when you yeah, so when you get ready to do a project, you have to make your inks and everything like the day before, or what do you do?
I make a fresh batch, pretty
Yeah.
much.
So it's not that hard to do and fun to do, I assume, right?
I love making them. I
Yeah, I think it'd be fun.
I make an ink out of onion skins, and you think onion skins, but the color of it comes out like a burnished copper that almost
Ooh.
shimmers. And I don't.
Oh,
And so the
wow.
thing about onion skins is you can they don't cost anything. You can make a batch,
Yeah, yeah,
use it, and then make
yeah.
a fresh batch when you're ready to do a new project or
Oh,
dye.
have fun. Yeah. Oh, that sounds really fun. I would really like to do that in all my spare time, you know.
You
And I have
copious
to
spare
make
time.
it
Also, I
better.
love and something that I've been doing more and more because the channel's pivoting a little bit, and I love stories about paper and ink
Uh-huh.
and books. Love the stories and the lore. And in fact, I'm reading a book that I'm my bedside book is the history of the Notebook.
Oh,
And I guess
sounds a little
I hope
boring.
everybody's going to understand this, but the history of the Notebook is so great.
Wow. Yeah.
So I'm trying to bring more and more stories and lore
Uh-huh.
into. And if you're making your own ink, you're connecting, I think, to an idea that in the 13th century, we didn't have an art supply store or a Michaels. If you
Yeah, yeah.
you didn't have it.
Hobby Lobby. Yeah.
So
Wow, of course.
I have another book that I'll try to link to it. It's called
Okay.
Travel Shifts and Contrivances. And
Hmm.
it's from the 1860s. And this guy wanted to write a book about traveling that would cover everything you needed to know.
Yeah.
This was the 1870s. He completely unironically wrote a whole chapter about how to make your own ink if you were on a trail and couldn't get to an inn or a public house. And I love that.
Interesting. What do you use?
He used
Uh,
lamp black,
oh, okay. Wow.
which is like
Is
if you're burning a lamp, and especially if it was kerosene, you may have
okay.
seen this in the oldie days, is
Yeah,
it
this
leaves a
cover.
black residue.
Right.
Well,
Right.
you take that off with a brush or a feather, and then you add water and maybe a gum arabic. Hey presto, it's ink, and
Wow.
it doesn't fade.
Oh, that is really cool. Okay. Okay.
That kind of like bringing that into working in our own stuff today.
Right. I
It's
love
like
the cover of that, by the way. It's all
these
water state.
no, these are echo prints.
Oh, okay. I like to do that too. That's gorgeous. Ooh, yeah.
Now, I don't know how to do flowers. I only know one kind, and that is autumn leaves. So
Oh, yeah. I see the leaves now. Okay, yeah. It wasn't that still before. Yeah, I love the leaves.
every
Yeah,
October, I go out and I do a fresh batch, and I make about 30 of these in one go.
yeah. Oh, pretty.
And then
Oh,
I always make them the same size because they're always going to be for book covers.
yeah. Oh, gorgeous. Oh, I love that. Okay, what else do you have to show us there? You had a
Well,
couple things, right?
well, one is that this is another handmade visual journal. It's where I
Uh
took a
huh.
book that I got for 90, a pound,
Right.
and
Hmm.
then I just gutted it and added my own
Pages and yeah,
blank pages, and then
yeah. Paper.
just
Love it. Oh, how gorgeous. Yeah, your style is so pretty. It's so
so.
pretty.
Thank you. But again,
Yeah.
it just evolves, and you just have to, it's so easy to be. I say this a lot when I teach in person workshops.
Uh huh.
I mean, 97 times out of 100, the first thing that we have to get through is someone will come and they've spent good money to go to a workshop and they'll say, I can't write in my book. I can't. It's new and I'm just going to make a terrible mess and I'm going to leave now. No, sit down.
Yeah.
You have to talk them into making a mess. And then like, they'll say, but I don't have a style. You don't get one until you've made, like 30 books. So just start with that stick figure cat. And, I love drawing bread because look, it just looks like some lumpy rocks.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you can't draw some lumpy rocks and write, this is a piece of bread under it, because I know you can.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. I love it.
Let's see. Another kind of a journal that I've just started keeping is, well, a visual version is a commonplace book.
Okay, what's that?
Back in the day, a commonplace book, and they've been around since, prehistory, is, not prehistory, but Greek times when you take a book where you write down quotes and ideas, and they became really popular as Il Badone in like the 14th century by Italian merchants because for the first time people were able to travel more, and merchants were the guys who really got around and saw it all. And so they were learning new recipes, new things of commerce, but also new language, new music. And they would get it all in their books. They would all write it down in.
Wow.
And this is called a commonplace book. And so today, a commonplace book is, and here's my written one.
Ooh, that's pretty.
It's just a Moleskine that, I just changed the cover.
Yeah.
And then I've got these labels for different topics. Let's see, the cosmos, work, nature, choosing, journeys, travels. And then when I see a quote or something that inspires me that I need to integrate into my work or into my meditation.
Right.
So
that's great. Oh, I love that. Yeah.
And so if I'm reading and I see, if you underline it in your book, you need to be putting it here.
Oh, cool. Okay.
A visual version.
What version?
Visual.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So I read about in this.
Yeah, you write a lot in your journals. Your writing is a lot prettier than mine. Look at that.
So I'm fascinated by tardigrades. Tardigrades are these little creatures that should not exist, but do. And they can survive in the Arctic permafrost. They can survive in the middle of volcanoes. They can survive for hundreds of years. So I wanted to write a page about tardigrades.
Interesting.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
They will survive a complete global mass extinction event. They'll be here when we're gone. So here's some more about so I said I've got the cosmos. There were some thingies here, and I just put them in. The largest explosion in the universe is 390 million light years away. I couldn't stop thinking about that.
How do you wrap your head around that one? Yeah.
Draw a big orange ball and say that's a goal. So this is not my usual style. I did this for a YouTube video to show people that if you don't have to have a fancy store-bought book.
Right. That's great.
And so this is a little bit more like you were saying, like a junk journal style, but I wanted to make it really easy and accessible. Because in my videos, I don't know if I'm answering your question, but in my videos, I tend to do two things. One is I love really fine paper and ink and the best art supplies I can afford. And I love trash picking. I love making something from nothing. I love reusing, patching.
Right.
Look, there's an old box. We could recycle it or make it into art supplies. So,
I love that. Okay. And you're on the verge of junk journaling. You're using junk. to rethink this, Kelly.
Yeah. I've thought about it a lot. I've thought about it for years. But again, because what I'm doing is not so much. I mean, if you've seen my altered books, again, I'm using all originals.
Yeah.
But this is where I'm trying to make it accessible. I mean, as you and I were saying earlier, I live in an old country where it's easier for me to source old paper. But if you live in Peoria or rural Alabama or Missouri, you may not have access to that kind of thing. So I like to do videos where I'm like, don't wait until you got it. Use what you got. And if what you got in the packing box, you better be using it.
There you go. Okay. So how far are you from Paris? If you take, isn't there the underground train? The underwater train.
Tunnel. Yeah, the tunnel.
Okay. How long does it take you to get there?
It's way quicker to take the train. The TGV. It takes me about, from London, it's about an hour and a half. But to get from where I live to London is about 4 hours.
Oh, okay. So you're a ways out. Okay. So I thought from London to Paris might be like 20 to 30 minutes on the train.
It doesn't quite work that way because, and believe me, I wish it did, but every time let's say I want to take the train from here to Paris. I got to take the train. It stops at Reading. I got to take all my stuff off, walk to the next station, to a different platform at Reading, get back on. It takes me to London. I get off, walk, go to Paddington to the underground, walk. The underground takes you to another stop. That stop takes you to the airport.
Oh.
And it's the same thing. If you want to take the train or the tunnel, you got to get to the station. And it's like a bunch of stops and transfers and walking. And
okay. Alrighty. Okay. So I've got to ask you about the Paris flea market.
It's not the Paris flea market. I'm going to sound snotty again. I hate the Paris flea markets.
Oh, okay. This is what I need to know. Okay.
They are so flipping expensive and they see you coming. I go to little towns. I travel in, like I'm going to Chinon in a month. I will stay in this tiny little town for a month.
Yeah.
From there, I will be able to make road trips to
other little places.
Flea markets in teeny tiny little towns where you might find nothing or you might find treasure for, and the prices are just so much better. You're going to find things that actually did come out of somebody's aunt's attic.
Wonderful.
But I don't hate the Paris flea markets. It's just that I don't really shop there. I just go to, I go because a friend of mine who's an antiques dealer makes me go because he finds good stuff. But that's just, I'm more looking for junk-tiques.
Yeah. Okay, so I ask because I have a 14-year-old granddaughter, and my daughter and I have promised her when she turns 16, we're going to Paris and London. And so that's one of the places I wanted to go was the Paris flea market to get all these fun things for journaling. So
yeah, especially if you're going with a 16-year-old, it's really fun to look at. I saw Helen Mirren at a Paris flea market once.
You did what?
Saw Helen Mirren.
Oh, did you really?
I was like, and I followed her. I didn't bother her, but I did follow her around for 20 minutes.
You and everyone else. That's
nobody saw it. Seemed to recognize it. So,
interesting.
It is fun to look at stuff, but since for me it's part of my business, it doesn't make sense for me to shop at high end.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to sound so.
Oh no, not at all. But I'm thinking I can get a list from you of some other places we should go.
I actually have a cheat sheet that I send to friends who are going to France to tell you where to find them, how to find them, and how to say, "Can you make me a better price on that?"
I need that cheat sheet
because
that's great.
I speak okay French, but I speak fluent flea market.
Yeah. I love it. I'm going to have to practice my flea market.
The big one that I told you about that's called the Grand Braderie. is in Lille, Lille.
Yeah. Okay. How far is that?
From Paris, about 4 hours.
Oh.
Yeah.
With 2 16-year-old girls.
But you know what? Do that. You can. Oh, I know what you need to do.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about this later. You can take the train from Paris to Dijon in about 45 minutes, and Dijon is going to have some really nice, smaller markets that's less expensive. It's one of the food capitals of France.
Oh, now see, we like that. They'd love that. Oh, okay. Okay. Ooh, you're the one to talk to. You'd have to send me some things to do. That'd be great. Ooh, I love that. That sounds so.
Even though here I am being like, oh, I don't like Paris. Of course, Paris. And
I didn't get that impression.
And I can tell you where there's some paper boutiques in the Marais.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'd love to get your list of fun things to do. Well, there'll be 3 adult women and 2 16-year-old girls. So keep that in mind.
And I'm going to come meet you.
Oh, that'd be great.
Because even though I said it takes longer than you think to get there, it's dead easy for me to get there. I get on I get on at Swansea with a mystery novel and a picnic. I take a nap, and then I'm there, and I just get on the plane, and like I said, I can be there in an hour and 45 minutes.
Wow. Okay, I'm calling you. Like I say, she turns 16 in April. A year and a half from now, so we'll probably be coming that summer or something. You could probably tell us the best time of year to go too, and of course it'd have to be when they're out of school.
It's going to be crowded, but it's a Paris crowd, Parisian crowd. So
yeah, I guess that's part of the fun.
And boy, I cannot imagine anything. Yeah, 16. That would be.
Yeah, well, that'd be fun.
You'll have a
yeah.
And let's tell you about London as well, because to me, London's just a big city. But of course, you've got the National Gallery, you've got the British Museum, and if you're a book lover,
which they all are. Okay, yeah, okay, that'll be fun. Yeah, they definitely want to see London too. So, how exciting! Yeah, I would love your
something. We're talking about visual diaries, but do you talk about written diaries? Actually, Dear Diary diaries?
I talk about anything.
I like that in a woman. Yeah. So to me, keeping a diary is like a religion. It's like brushing my teeth.
Okay.
I don't write in my diary in the morning. I can't function. My day is to go south.
That's really interesting. I know quite a few people who do that, and I've always thought I should. It would be fun.
Do you remember a book called The Artist's Way?
Yes, I have it right on my studio desk.
Well, something Julia Cameron talks about a lot is morning pages. And that's where you just, before you do anything, you just get out your notebook and you start writing almost stream of consciousness.
Yeah.
It's a brain dump.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I read that a long time ago, and I just ordered it, and I've got it in there now. Oh, I love it.
Yes, there's a revised version coming out. And see, that's what I do here. And I just, if anybody ever reads my diaries, they're going to be like, where are the current events? Because it's just like me writing through what's
just your thoughts. Yeah, just what's in your head. That's kind of fun. Yeah, that's the thing. Do I pay someone to burn those the moment I die, or what? This could get really, really interesting.
Kind of book, and this is it's not exactly a prayer book, but it's what I use for meditation and study. And again, these do not cross-pollinate.
Oh, okay. I'll remember that. Okay.
Like if I try to write everyday stuff in my spirit book, my hand won't work.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So this is where, and it is kind of a commonplace book because a lot of it is quotes by people like Annie Dillard, Rilke, Henry David Thoreau, people who inspire me.
Right.
And things that I want to
kind of a gratitude journal, maybe?
It's not unlike that.
Yeah. Okay.
If you were to draw a Venn diagram, they would have a lot in common.
Okay. So things that make you happy, things that you try and focus on in your world that make you a better person.
Not necessarily make me happy, but make me wonder.
Ponder. Yes. Okay.
Ponder's good.
Yeah.
And so it's not a prayer journal. I'm not conventionally religious like that, but it would be something like that. This is where, this is pretty much where I talk to God in my own way. And
I love it. Yeah.
And then it's informed by quotes of other people doing the same thing.
Yes.
And I keep both of these at the same time. So when I do go on trips, I basically take like 5 diaries with me.
Oh, and your art kit. Show me your art kit. Yeah.
You know what? I'm a girl.
Your art kit.
I can take 5 diaries if I want to.
Yeah, exactly.
Now this is really important to me. Is when again teaching visual diary keeping. I do not go anywhere. I don't go to the dentist. I don't go to the bank. Nowhere without a blank book and an art kit.
Wow.
Because this is what Gwen Dean taught me. The first thing is, if you have your pieces on you, you're more likely to work in them. If you end up sitting at the bank one day for 45 minutes cooling your heels, you're going to think, why don't I have my sketchbook with me? I could be filling a page. So, and I do have on my YouTube channel a couple of diaries where I do a bag drop, and you can see what's in my portable art kit. But what I mainly have are, should I show you what's in it? Water-soluble brushes. Not water-soluble, water reservoir brushes.
Right. Yeah, I love those. I play with those quite often, but I'm not very good. Yeah.
But if you're traveling and you're sitting in a cafe having a cup of coffee, or then you don't need a little cup of water. Right. So I have some real brushes in a travel size.
Yeah.
Birthday treat. Ooh. And then I have, some art pens.
Yeah.
And I have 2 kinds. I have ones that bleed and ones that don't bleed.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And I also have water-soluble charcoal graphite pencils. And that's because if you're dum-de-dum. Let's see. Here we go.
Okay.
All these books and no paper.
Exactly.
Okay, so.
Okay.
I draw in a lot of churches and ruins. So
okay.
This, gray put down here, and I've got my water brush.
Right. Okay.
And that's just going to activate that and turn it into an ink.
Oh, how fun.
And a wash.
Gosh. It'd be fun to travel somewhere where we could draw cathedrals or something with you. Yeah.
You can do that in Paris.
Yeah.
So, so for me, these graphite pencils are essential.
Okay. You have a video you said on all these?
I do. And then, cool. So I've got my pens, my brushes, my pencils.
Yeah.
Watercolors.
How cute. Yeah, that little travel. I love those, don't you?
It's cute.
Yeah, I love those little things.
I actually always take my own palette because I didn't used to. I just worked from this thing.
Right.
When I one day figured out that if I took my own palette, my mixing game bounced. I ended up painting more. Because it's messy, but you can get...
Yeah, cool.
Glue stick.
Yeah.
Eraser, pencil sharpener, scissors, and that's pretty much it.
Wow. Okay, so you never go anywhere without that. The best artists do that. I know.
But it's a habit. It's just a habit to get into, Sally. And once you get into it, you feel weird if you don't have it with you.
Yeah, I can imagine. Ooh, I'm going to start doing that. I'm just afraid somebody will look over my shoulder and like.
Yeah, and then what'll happen? What's the worst thing that's going to happen after that?
I'll be discovered. I'll be in the art museum. There you go. You
I don't know how to
have.
tell you this, but you'll be just fine.
Okay,
And
thank
you
you.
might make a new friend. That has happened to me about twice. When
Oh,
I've been in a
wow.
strange country, someone has asked me about it, and then
Uh-huh.
and then you encourage them to make their own page, and maybe they do a page in your book, and then
Oh,
you're having coffee together, and then the next thing you know, you're getting
your friends. How cool. How cool is that?
So that's what's going to happen to you if you're discovered, Miss
Oh
Bell.
my gosh. Okay. I'll let you know. Oh my gosh. Okay. We've gone for 40 minutes. We better wrap this up, even though I could talk to you all day. What else do you want to tell
There's
me?
a nice man in there who's saying, "Where's my supper?"
That's right. That's right. It's supper time in the
7:30.
UK. Yeah. Okay. All right. Listen, is there anything else you want to tell us, Kelly? Excuse me.
I feel like I want to preach. It's like, well, actually, I'm preaching to the choir. I forgot about that. I just really, really believe that diaries change lives. That's how you can think on paper.
Yeah.
And
you're a really positive person. Maybe that's one of the reasons why. You seem to be.
I am, but I had to work to get here.
Work at it. Yeah. Right.
Everybody's got a story, and
right.
There was some tough.
The writing, I think, probably has a lot to do with that.
Yeah, but even so, I went to Mississippi to visit my sister in February, and I brought back a lot of my old diaries that she was holding for me that I was writing in my 20s and 30s. And if you've ever done that, of course, it's cringy.
Yeah.
And you want to smack that kid and say, "What? No, don't do it."
Yeah, exactly. Or you're thinking, "Ooh, why did I like that guy?" Yeah.
No, I want to go back and say he's not good enough for you.
Exactly. I know exactly what you mean. Right.
And, but it was also, there were some hard things and poignant things. But like you said, who am I going to pay to burn those when I die? But
right. I know.
But even so, I can see why I had to get it down on paper.
Yeah. I mean,
and it's cheap therapy too. It's cheap therapy.
Yeah, I was just going to say, who needs a shrink when you have a good diary, huh? Or 2 or 3.
It's cheap, and it's not. It's cheap. It helps you be creative, and it's not fattening. What are we?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. It's got everything. Everything. I love it. We got to wind this up. I hate to. You're just so much fun. I really have fun talking to you.
That's because you're fun.
I have fun watching your YouTubes, and I want to encourage the audience to go see you on YouTube. Tell me, what other social media do you use?
Oh, that's a whole other video. I personally find that I have tried everything, even TikTok. I did it. My son shamed me into trying TikTok.
I've only interviewed one person that uses TikTok, and I don't even know how to use it.
It's not hard to use, and I was actually getting thousands of views on one TikTok, but no engagement.
Oh, okay.
So about 98% of my social media eggs are in the YouTube basket, because YouTube's been very good to me. Not only do I sell there, but I have met book artists in Australia, in Israel, in Canada, in the States, in France, and we have this community.
I know. I love it.
And even if my numbers are actually pretty good, but even when they weren't, the engagement was there. People were commenting on each other's comments, supporting each other. I love this so much more.
Yeah. I have to agree with you. It's the best. Yeah. I love to meet people all over. Yeah. It's cool.
You know what? Not today, but soon, you and I are going to compare notes.
Oh, okay. All right.
And we can have a follow-up. Sally.
Yes.
Sally.
There we go. I love it. Yeah. Other people have said that too. I'm thinking, we'll just make the rounds. We'll just keep doing the round.
We can have a round table.
Oh.
Oh, we'd get some good ideas.
Oh, yeah. Wouldn't that be fun? Yeah, that'd be fun. I'll think about that. You too.
Okay.
Okay. Well, listen, thank you. Love you.
It's been my pleasure.
Yeah,
It
you
really
you
has.
are great. I really have fun. I'm looking forward to seeing you when we come to Europe. Maybe I'll bring some of my medieval paints.
You are bringing a blank book, and or I will have to wag my finger at you.
Yes, okay.
And
Oh,
we
okay.
do only when you do that.
Actually, I'm going to make journals for each of us on the trip. There'll be 5 of us. That, it'll be a blank book, maybe with some little pockets and stuff in it, and then tell them to bring their own little supplies. I might even do that. But anyway, it'll be fun. We're going to make it a really fun trip.
We'll compare
Okay,
notes.
well, thank you very much for giving me all the good juice.
Thank you, Sally.
Yeah, I had a good time. Thank you, audience, for being here. And Kelly, it's been real. Really fun. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.